I'm already going. Hey, we're already up and live. All right, back again at Hoagie's Garage. Rattle through our sponsors here real fast. We got Hawk Wings out of Jackson, Minnesota. Build you a wing for pretty much anything you want to race. Rapid Graphics out of Rock Rapids, Iowa. Get your cars lettered, get your signs made. Mount Tabor Cabinetry with Chris Fissel out in central Pennsylvania. Morning Sun Marketplace with Rick and Sue Fritz. Thank Rick's for the new Mountain Dew bottle because I broke my other one.
Real quick on Rick Fritz. I think he's trying to get some fundraising stuff.
Yep.
4 cops got shot. 3
4 or 5.
3 got killed, I think. One of them is his best friend, and he's surviving.
Yep. The other 3 helped him at the security with his marketplace.
Yeah, it was a bad deal. Something about arrest warrant or something that turned really bad. So
I shared that on my Facebook page and the link. But he needed stuff, I think, ready by like this Friday.
Yeah.
So and anyways, bad deal, but we'll continue on. My Race Pass. If you're into racing, you have to have My Race Pass just to keep up with everything going on out throughout the whole country. S2F, start to finish, it's another streaming service. They have Power Eye, they have several tracks that they cover in Oklahoma area, I believe it is. Houston Speedway, our home track right up here for all they do for us and the racing they put on. Turn 2 Lodge down in Knoxville, literally what it says. There's a place to stay right outside of Turn 2. Kaiser Aluminum Wheels, buy Kaiser, or be wiser, buy Kaiser. Whew, almost screwed her up this week, but I was going for 3 in a row and I got 2. Fulkins Brothers Trucking, for all that they do for us, for the racing throughout the country, everything that they do. Heartland Hardware and Appliance out of Brandon, South Dakota, George, Iowa, and Hayward, Iowa. Hero Haven for everything they do for the vets. They just got done having a poker ride fundraiser thing. They had a silent auction, I think, at that too. And then Lumber Lounge and Garage, Bent's Racing with Snow and Shane. Always like to give them a shout out. They got really good shows. I haven't got through the whole show yet from last night with him.
It's a long one.
Yep, that's why I didn't get through the whole thing yet. I got to go to bed.
That's right.
So, but anyways, give them a listen. They're a great show. Anyways, your turn, bud.
Tobe, you got this. You're saying Hoagie's Garage and everything.
Oh, I got to do it all tonight?
Here we go.
Wow, you're desperate. All right, we're back at Hoagie's Garage, and we are lucky enough to have Mr. Shane Liebig with us tonight. How are you doing tonight, Shane?
I'm doing good.
Good.
That's awesome.
How's the weather in Rapid?
It's about 80 today.
It's warm this time of year.
It's about right what it was for us too, so that's not too bad. I'll take 80 more than 30. So
hey, if you want, we could ship you a whole bunch of these little no-see-em biting bugs and these Asian beetles that are a pain in the ass around us. Harvest has started here, and it is not a good time to have allergies, bud. I'm just telling you.
We really need a hard freeze, but that's not coming for a long time.
They're talking 80s through next week down here.
Yeah. Shane, this is just a fun fact. We did a show a while back with DeWalt, and he was known as West River Ed. And we kind of just did a fun make-up thing of predictions of Huset's that didn't make any sense. And he was known as West River Ed. And then that year you showed up with, I believe West River, is that your own business, Shane?
It is, West River Traders. Yep.
Yes. And we see, I see the West River and I'm like, there's no way. We just needed to put an Ed behind it and it would have been perfect. But
well, that's because he picked Bogusky, or how do you say the name? Because he said, because he don't like Australians, but they had an Australian driving their car, so that was just part of the fun of it. But so he picked your guy to win the title that year up here.
Yeah.
Oh, shoot.
But, so yeah, but we have a lot of fun. But yeah, it just seemed kind of crazy that he picked the name West River Ed, and then West River Trailer Sales show up, and it was made it a lot more fun for us.
Yeah.
But anyways, the show, we got to continue on.
That's
here.
right. Shane, real quick, just give, who are you? Where are you from? People probably know now, but let's just give us a little update on yourself.
I'm really nobody. I own a business here in Rapid City, South Dakota. That's where we base the team out of. Been around racing my whole life. Actually raced back there in the late 90s myself. A little bit in 16, 17. I owned Retzel's car, and then come back here a couple years ago with Caleb Henry and Matt Jewell, and then Scott Boguski, and now Ryan Timms.
Yeah, it's quite the run. Quite the run.
So are we a married man or anything? Or can we ask personal questions like that, or you can tell us to shut up?
Yeah, I'm married. Got 2 kids. I got one. Let's see. One is 34 and one is 24.
Okay.
And I got 4 grandkids.
Ooh, that's awesome. I just had my first one, so that's pretty awesome.
I got 2.
Yeah. So
You're winning that count.
Let's go way back, Shane. How did you get involved in the racing?
Well, you know, my dad built race cars and my uncle built motors, and my grandfather was one of the forefathers of Black Hill Speedway out here, and then my dad and uncles all raced, and then I was the next of kin. You know, I was the 3rd generation, and then I started sprint car. Well, I started mini sprints at 10, and then sprint cars at 16, and ran Husitz my rookie year. I went over turn 1 the wall there, my first time there. I grew up on big tracks, so you're taught not to turn, and I didn't turn there. But he used to build. My dad used to build cars for Bill Millenbrand, and you know, a variety of guys back there.
Dominator chassis, I think, is what my brother-in-law Troy told me they were, weren't they?
Yeah. Yep. No, it, like I said, in different areas, you know, Sioux Falls had their areas of characters, and we're the characters up here, I guess, right? And, yeah, so I grew up around it my whole life, and you know, scuffing main bearings at 10, 12 years old for Bill, because their shops were next to each other, and I was, you know, notching pipes and tubing for my dad when he built cars before milling machines and stuff were really used. Everybody hand ground them and stuff.
So you were,
Been around it.
you were building cars at an early age then, you could say.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
So-
we had to back then. They were really, you know, hell bent on being 16 before you could race a sprint car. So I actually missed the first race of the year here because I wasn't 16 yet, and then got to race the second one.
Okay. Yeah, now you can race pretty much at any age. You can run them other than like with the Outlaws. Then they got an age limit there yet, but.
Yeah, the kid I got now, he's racing at 14.
Yep. Yeah, that's crazy. We've talked about it several times on the show. We've had them young boys on. When I was 14, there was no way in hell I was imagining racing a sprint car. I mean, we were going to them by then, watching, but no, not getting in one. Still not getting in one. Still ain't brave enough to do it. But
we were never. You know, unfortunately, we weren't. I grew up. You know, we grew up racing against each other. Shotzi and I. You know, he's from North Dakota, South Dakota, but we were all the same places. But,
yep.
Unfortunate for me, we didn't have enough money to. I could build one good car, one good motor, or one really good motor, and if it blew up or wrecked, it took a month to try to get something back together. You know.
Yep. Didn't have 3 spares sitting in the background and half a dozen motors. But going back to that, you said your first race at Husitz. Did you make it out of the ballpark then, or just up into the catch fence?
I did back then. You know, they parked our trailers along that turn 1 and 2 outside that second catch fence there. You know, you parked along there. You didn't actually out back. I ended up right next to my trailer.
Oh shit!
Oh.
Well, didn't have to go far, I guess. That's one positive note of it, but.
No. But no, it was unsuccessful my first time there for sure.
Did you race a little bit like in California too?
I did. So we were, you know, around our area, we were winning quite a bit. And, I went down to Arizona. Actually won Tucson, Manzi, Canyon. There was a down there. It was called SCOA, Sprint Car Owners of Arizona back then. And then I come home and race. And that particular year, we just had, won in our area. You know, our world 42 races that year, and you know, in a national level, you know, what I mean, but whatever.
Yeah.
It's still winning, right?
Yep. Hey, win's a win.
And I got offered this ride out in California. They were based out of San Francisco, and I went out there. I think it was 98 or 99, maybe 99, maybe. But Jason Myers was young. Old Kading was young. You know, they were all the hot dogs out there. We were leading Petaluma, the Civil War series, and then I went through a hole, like 4 to go, and if you believe it's so rough out there, it sheared the shock bolts off.
Yeah.
Race
Yep.
cars.
That doesn't shock us one bit.
Character. They say the California track's got a lot of character.
Yeah, and then I was really looking forward to. We run good at Petaluma. We ran good at Chico, and then I flew home. And then I went back out there, flew home to see the family and stuff, because I was like, I compared to like Caleb Henry when he come to me. I was early 20s, like 22ish, 3ish, whatever it was, and never, always kind of been around here. So it was my first trip, out in the middle of nowhere by yourself. So it was a little different, right? So I flew home and flew back, and then we raced some more, and we were running really good, and I got a call a month later that on my trip home I was going to be a dad. So then I said, well, I better do the right thing, go home and raise my kids. So I let that ride, and then I was going to go out there and race the Gold Cup that year. The year when I started for him, the Trophy Cup was actually at San Jose Speedway,
Okay.
which they ended up tearing down. But anyways, we went out to, I was climbing down a ladder. I was working construction here. I was climbing down a ladder and going to go to the airport to fly out there. And I really felt we had a chance. I know everybody thinks that. I really thought we had a good chance because we were running. And I, coming down the ladder, a piece of the wall broke. I fell 20 feet, and the wall come down and broke both my legs and crushed both my feet.
Oh,
Oh
shit.
my gosh.
I had steel-toe boots on and blew out the ends of all my toes.
Oh.
So anyways, I was put up for a while.
Oh.
And then I never did go. I just never ever went back out there. It took me about a year to heal from that, and then I hooked up with that Harvey Ostermiller, which is in. Actually, I take that back. When I finally got healed up, I was broke, had no money, wanted to race, and old man Saldana, Joe Saldana, was like, Shane, come get a car from me, and when you get enough money, pay for it. You cash in your 401k, buy a motor, and I'll help you with the car until you afford to pay for it. So I drove out there with an S10 pickup, loaded up. Joey was racing the Mox Racing red number 17 at that time, and they gave me everything for a whole car. Joe did, and I come back, and we had like one spare tire and a couple spare shocks and just a couple sets of gears, and it was just me and my dad. My dad's old friend Marty Bray, he's my dad's age, and we went in a 75 dually pickup home trailer, and we basically everywhere we went we couldn't lose that year.
Really?
So
That's
then
crazy.
I ended up getting a ride with a guy out of Montana named Harvey Ostermiller, and he's the memorial. We just went up to Montana and raced.
Yep,
But,
yep.
I raced for him for a few years, and he was an awesome guy. He's like a second dad to me, kind of. And, then here we are, right? I ended up having to quit because business and family got
Yeah.
too important for, getting hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah. God, I can't. Damn, to have your toes blown out. That that hurts just thinking about it. Damn,
Yeah,
Shane.
That's you're short enough to begin with.
Yeah.
Bud. Oh, by the
Hey,
way,
I'm short. I can say
I
that.
was an iron worker, so I actually iron work built. I was one of the guys. There was 42 of us built the Eiffel Tower in Vegas, and I worked on San Francisco International Airport, and kind of traveled around doing iron work.
Holy shit, that's pretty cool.
so you can go to Vegas and check out your handiwork then, yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
That gives me more reason to look at if Steve takes me out there again.
Yeah, no kidding.
We built that in 8 months. If you believe that, start to finish.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
That's
That's
impressive
insane.
too.
That is.
Yeah, we were working 714s, but
Oh, really? Oh, damn.
Things got done back then.
yep.
I'm pretty sure I can't do 714s anymore, bud.
Yeah, no kidding.
Too damn old for that. Oh, by the way, Snow Giddings, he says you're a great guy, Shane.
I gave him a bunch of crap on the line one time because he said on his podcast, him and Stewart, how another yellow or something that the gravel would have got us at Knoxville. And I was like, what cigarettes were you guys smoking? No, it's all good fun. I give him crap over it.
Oh, you
Yeah.
have to.
Absolutely.
Guy that nice,
Yeah,
you gotta
he's a
give him
great
shit.
Yeah. So you kind of went from driving to more of a car owner role, and
Well, actually, I had, when I quit racing, I actually had Black Hill Speedway here. I had the racetrack for a couple years.
Oh, that's right.
Then we had a little dispute on that, and so I left that, and then I ended up focusing on business and got it going good, and then I bought Billings. I can't remember when I bought Billings, but I had Billings for like 3 years with Jerry Brave. We bought it together, the guy that's got it now. And I was up there for 3 years, and we helped turn that around, all of us, Jerry, me, and I went up there every, Thursday through Sunday, basically every week, and then, like, I just one of the deals, like, when I conquer something, I want to go on to the next challenge, right? And then I was like, I actually figured, I started putting the car together again a little bit at the end of 22, I think it was. And I really figured Reitzel was going to get fired at some point, so I figured I'd put a team together again. Maybe we were old enough to stand each other again and go racing and win some races together. And so I put a team together at the end of 22, just like one car, just me, my brother-in-law, and my dad. And then he was still racing, I think, for the guy he is now. And then, so I got Jewel to drive it for the Jackson Nationals, and then we went to Lakeside and I-80's last show. And then we went into 23, and I decided to hire Caleb Henry out of California. Super nice kid. He moved out here, and it's his first time ever away from home. But man, what a great kid. We raced at Houston. We were going to do that year together, and a month into it, I think it was tough for him being away from home. And I'm kind of hard on my drivers, and it was no like hard feelings or nothing. You just decided to go back home, and I decided to get a different driver, and so that's when I put Matt in it for the High Bank Nationals. Actually, I put Garrett Williamson in first.
Okay, yep.
And he ran it twice and tipped it over both nights. That worked out good. So then he went back they got a motor back or something, and they went back to that Tabor guy, and then I put Jewel in it for the High Banks, and then he ran really good in it. And then it started feature. Dobbs got into him a little bit, and tipped him over and broke his back.
Yep.
So then I was without a driver again. So then I thought, Scotty Boguski had called me through Scotty McDonald, the dissolve boy that sponsored Aaron. He's, I got to be friends with him, and he called me. He said, "Why don't you give this Boguski a try?" And I'd never really heard of him, but my dad and I had talked, and Scotty's a great guy. If you've ever talked to him, just and then he's kind of down on luck, couldn't get a ride, broke, and we just honestly, I thought, my dad's just like, let's give this kid a shot. I mean, this was us, right? Let's give this kid a shot, see what he can do. So we put the Goose in there, and I think the highlight of the end of that year was we made the Knoxville Nationals. We ran 22nd, not great, but we made it.
Yeah, you made the show. That's better than the other 80.
Yeah. So then we decided to keep him into 24, and then it was me and Scott and my dad basically, and then we ran Huset's quite a bit. Jackson won there. Then he won his first main event at Knoxville, and my first one was 4th of July there. And we went into that nationals, and we ended up getting 8th. And then at Huset's, I think we were running 3rd in last night, either the makeup race or the makeup from the High Bank, right?
Yep.
And because it rained out, and then he spun out run 3rd. But anyways, our plan was we just come, parked it, pickled everything, and I was going to, probably go with him again. And then he went to go race another car, and I didn't really know about it. And then I called Guy Forbrook, and I was just like, talking to Guy about some things, like life, right?
Yeah.
And then the guy's like, why don't you put this Tim's kid in it? And I was like, who? And he's like, this Ryan Timms. I said, well, ain't that little kid that races for you? And he's like, yeah, but I'm going in for back surgery. And he'd be good. I mean, give him a try. He can't race the weekends because he's racing midgets, but take him to I-70. And I'm like, where? Like I-70 is a high limit race. I'm like, well, I'm kind of already done for the year. He's like, well, big well, put some fuel in it, load it back in the tractor. And I'm like, yeah, I guess you're right. So he says, call the kid. I said, okay, I'm not really looking for a driver. He's like, just give him a call. So he calls me back a half hour later, and I go, he said, did you call him? And I said, no. He said, his exact words, so I'm sorry. He says, you pussy, and then hung up on me. And then the next call was Randy Timms. It says, hey, a guy says we need to hook up and we should be racing together. And I said, well, I guess we could try it. And so we decided to go to I-70, and I met him in the parking lot of the motel. You know, never met the kid, didn't even know who owned the car. And he's asking my pick guy, you the owner? And I'm like, no, he's over there. And he says, I said, bolt your seat in. And he gave me that deer in the headlight look. And I was like, oh man, what did I get myself into? And, you know, compared to what they had, you know, my little rig, I had a little 40-foot trailer and dually. They're probably thinking, man, what are we doing?
They're thinking the same thing you are. What did I get into?
Yeah, that's right. And then, so we go there and right out of the box. I mean, in hot laps, I can tell you, no bull crap aside. I mean, when I seen him come out of the corner in hot laps, I'm like, I told my friend that was with me, Chad, my big guy, I'm like, telling you, we got a chance here.
Really? First laps?
Yeah, first lap hot lap, I just could tell, and then he's like, you think? I said, oh yeah, I bet that was quick time. And we set quick time in hot laps. And I was like, how'd you know that? I said, I can just tell, you know. And then he did good, ended up second that night, and really had a chance to win it. Just experience got him with sweet.
Yep.
So we get done, and he goes, well, should we go to Lucas Oil? I said, well, I just planned on coming here, but I guess, okay.
You sound like you're really hard to convince to go somewhere, Shane.
So we go to Lucas Oil, and he was leading past Sweet and was leading high limit race, and the fuel line come loose, which was on me. And so we tightened it, and he started in the back, and I think he got back up to either 7th or 8th.
Yeah,
but coming from 24th.
Back in the top 10, I know. Yep.
So then he says, we should go to Texas. And we're like, yeah, okay. So then we drive, keep the trip going. You know, we drive down to Texas and meet Chad. And then we end up 3rd the first night high limit, and then end up 5th in the final. And then after the race, you know, he just said, we got to figure out how to keep this going. And I said, well, you know, honestly, I hadn't got rid of Scott at that point or nothing. And I said, I can't do 100 shows like you need to do. I mean, I'm a small team, and I got businesses and kids and grandkids and dogs, and he's you know, and I said, but there was 3 open rides that time. I said, just tell me which one you want, and I'll go down and I'll sell you. You know what I mean? Like, I'll sales pitch it for you and get you whatever ride you want. You know?
Yeah.
He's like, no, I'd rather race for you. I'd rather run 40 shows for you than 100 for them.
Really?
I said, well, you're stupid. But I'll see what I can do. You know what I mean? Let me go. And he said, and then we were like, well, maybe we should go to the World Finals. I'm like, well, maybe we should.
Oh, touch my arm a little bit harder. Okay, that's good.
I said, well, before we talk about this, let's just go to the World Finals, and then we'll talk about it, and we'll get a game plan at the World Finals. So then we went there, and I can't remember how we did the first 2 nights, but we ended up 4th in the final. But, I mean, we were good all week, and we just decided we got to keep this going somehow. So we sat in the back of a rental car and agreed on everything, and the rest is history.
Yeah, pretty good history so far.
So did you call Guy Forbrick and say thanks or not?
Oh yeah, no, I talk to Guy at least once or twice a week.
So, on a side note, how is Guy doing?
Yeah.
After the back surgery and everything?
Better. He's still struggling a little bit. I mean, he's, you know, it goes all the way from his butt to his neck, you know, so I mean, it's really stiff, I think. I haven't got to see him, but I've talked to him on the phone a lot. You know what, but he wants to get back racing, you know. I don't think he's 100% there yet. I think he's about 70.
Okay.
But he's still the same. He's awesome to talk to, you know. He's the same guy.
Oh yeah, we've had him on. He's a lot of fun.
I hope he can get back soon. I miss seeing him there. I mean, when I grew up, that's who I was wanting to drive for was him.
You know.
Yeah.
Well, he, obviously hasn't given up on racing. He tested his car this summer, at Knoxville.
Yep.
So
Yep.
he's still figuring on it himself. So we can just hope and pray he makes her back next year.
Nope. No, I still lean on him a lot when I need help.
So let's get into this year, because this year has just been absolutely amazing. Maybe I don't even know where to start, but maybe just start, how Knoxville kind of started for you, how Huset's, that those two were kind of your main ones a little bit, and just it seemed like win here, win there, win here, win there type deal. So
Before we get into that, Shane, I just want to apologize, bud. I done ate your cookie.
that's right.
So if you want, I gotta go back to the car. They're not the chocolate chip ones though, Shane. Mom, she made a different one this week, so I had to eat these icebox cookies, she calls them.
There you go.
They're really good too, though, by the way. So, anyways,
Well, we kind of set goals. We started in Florida and we went out to California in March and just got our head kicked in. And then we come back and then we were getting ready for Knoxville, tested a little bit there, and then we went to the first outlaw show and just got, our ass kicked. And I said, listen to me, we're going to commit to here every week. We're going to test. We're going to test shit every time because we got to get ourselves, we're ready for August. That's what matters.
Yep.
And we got a long way to go. One of our goals was to win the track championship at Huset's. That was one of our goals. We had a win total we wanted to get to. I'm not going to say that out loud. We're not quite there yet. But we had goals. We wanted to win the Huset's big race. We wanted to win Knoxville. We wanted to win Jackson Nationals. Was important to me, right? The Midwest, because that's where we grew up. Them were the three important ones. We wanted to win an outlaw show and we wanted to win the high limit show. That was our goals, right? And then we decided we were going to race every show at Huset's, every show at Jackson for sure, and then just about every show at Knoxville. I had to miss one early in the season because my son graduated college, and I gave up. I've missed so many things over racing all my life. I wasn't going to miss that.
Yep.
And we went to King's Royal, and then at the end of the year, I decided to go up because it wasn't going to matter. We went up to do that Harvey Austin Miller race, the 360 ASCS race. 110 at the end of the year, and we missed the last night. But so we just started practicing in Knoxville, changing, trying things. Had to work. It's a lot for them kids. My cars have a lot of speed going into the corners, so adjusting for it. So we kind of had to back it up a little bit and just get him comfortable and just work on, the car. We're trying things all the time. And I was trying to coach him up and get him to drive straighter and how to, get a guy loose here, how to do this here, how to pull this slider off here. Just stuff that I had from the years I raced. I mean, even though there's 100 people out there that know stuff that nobody's ever heard of, right? And I feel like I kind of know some of that stuff, right?
That's right.
Been around in a while.
tried just coaching him up on all that stuff, and from Raul Pet. No, I'm not taking credit away from him. He did it, right?
Yeah.
I tried to help him with things I knew because I grew up on half miles, so I kind of knew most tricks on that deal.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Obviously, it must have worked out well.
We got there, we won a few races, and it was fun, and then, even though we didn't do very good at the Cappy, I thought we were good, and then we went into the Nationals with the mindset, I was there to win. Honestly, I knew if we did what we did, we were capable.
Now,
And
one thing that I kind of read, and maybe I'm wrong here, but you're not a huge operation, so at some point you started taking like all of your best parts and saving them for the Knoxville Nationals. So there was times you were racing at Huset's with some, let's say, rather used equipment and still doing well.
Yes. Yeah, we just, we were running short of motors. When we were in Knoxville, we were down to our last motor. And you know, that was the motor I ran the year before with Bagooski and got 8th, but I knew it was a good motor, but we had to start, so we were, you know, John Tressman loaned us a motor one night at Huset's. We had another one, you know, then I brought out an Old Faithful that we ended up pulling up at Jackson, which was no fault of the engine builders because he told me not to run it anymore. And, you know, so we were just, yeah, we tried a lot of things, and then we brought our best piece, we felt. I mean, the car itself had 33 shows on it, but, you know, like, whether it's wing configurations, whatever, motors, we brought our best piece to that.
Yeah, to that event, and obviously
Yeah.
it was a good piece.
Yeah. No, still sitting in my garage now, not even washed. They won't let me wash it.
Is it ever going to be run again?
We argue about it pretty much daily.
What side are you on? I'm just curious.
I'm like, let's take it, let's go.
Yeah.
And they're like, no.
No, gotta hold on to that.
Yeah,
I can see both sides of it, I guess.
yeah.
I mean, it's, you know,
We got other cars, so in the other car, we won with a different, what's funny is that same motor, but you had a different car is what we won Tusky with. So that was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You think about it, you know, like I said, putting it away, it is the Knoxville Nationals. It's, you know, the granddaddy of them all is what they call it. So I can get the idea of wanting to put it away.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it works really well. Maybe we should just run it some more. I understand all that.
Asking if we're gonna have to put a new sticker job on it for next year's nationals or not. They're like, we ain't using that car. Like, okay.
So the Tusky, how many times has Tim's even, that's Port Royal, right?
Yeah.
How many times has Tim even run there? How many times have you been there?
I have never been to Pennsylvania. That was my first time ever. He, I think, had ran 2 Tuskies maybe as a younger kid. I think they said his best was 8th in the C. And then I think he ran some local events there, but I'm not sure if it was 8 or 5 or 10. But it wasn't a ton. But he'd been there before. I had never. Watched on Dirt Vision maybe once or twice.
So what I've
Side
noticed.
note, I've been to Pennsylvania more than him, and I don't get out of Iowa ever.
Yeah.
I've been there twice.
So what I think I've noticed, and I don't notice much, but if you race at a place more than once, now whether this is Ryan or this is you, but if it's a 2-night show or a 3-night show, you have a tendency to really dial things in.
Yeah, I think it's a kind of both, right?
Yeah.
I can't get the car perfect all the time, and him adjusting to a car, different. The way I do things is probably different what he did in his own car. So it's a combination of both. But hopefully by the end of the second day, we're on the right track, right?
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna have to say I'm really impressed with the fact that you've never been there. Then you can come and win a race. Well, not necessarily dominate the race like that. I maybe heard that once before, but I didn't remember it. But that to me is crazy that you can show up and set a car up that well at a track you've never been to before.
We all get lucky at the casino, guys.
Yeah.
Well, as I say,
I
blind squirrel.
I call bullshit to that one, but
Even blind squirrel finds an acorn once in a while, they say. But no, that's impressive, Shane. I don't care what you say or what anybody else says. That to me is impressive. That is really cool.
And something that, at Huset's, that's where we get to see him in person, Tobe and I. And we talked to him several times because he had a lot of wins there. But there's a lot of people that have raced there and they can't pass people. They're good race car drivers, but they've never been able to really pass people. Tim's has no trouble passing people. It seems like things almost happen for him in slow motion. He's splitting cars. He's just doing things that we haven't seen out of everybody. Let's say that.
Yeah, no, he's, you know, it's pretty amazing, really, especially at Husitz, absolutely. And, you know, at Husitz, he's probably better than I am there. You know, what I mean is he's better than the car is there. And then, you know, at the big tracks, the car is pretty good, but it just seems to complement each other. But what he can do in traffic, you know, he never gives up he never gives up. You know, I've been with drivers that kind of, they ain't doing good to quit or, you know, lay down on you. And he's going full bore to the, you know, checkered flag, which is what I really enjoy. And he's driving the shit out of it. That's what I always wanted, you know.
Yeah.
And, I want a guy that's on the ragged edge, you know. We tear shit up, we do, but I want to be trying, not just laying up for a paycheck, right?
He's driving her whether he's running second or 12th.
That's right.
Yeah. Yeah, the kid's got one speed when he's on the track, and that's as fast as the car will go.
Which is kind of amazing because the kid just loves to sleep.
Yeah, he does.
And we've had him on our shows several times. We've talked to him a lot. Just he's a down to earth, super nice kid.
Yeah.
He is very humble. People really don't realize that, how humble and just
No.
he's a good kid. He could be like some of them other spoiled rich kids, and he's not, right?
Nope.
He's a good kid.
Well, there's an all around nice kid.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely.
So, what do we have left for this year then?
Well, they're actually got the truck running, waiting on me. We were headed to Williams Grove tonight,
Oh, well, you could have told us to shut the hell out.
so they're just all looking at me and like speed it up there all the time.
Well, you can take the phone in the truck. We've interviewed people going down the road before.
But no, that's we're headed to Williams Grove, and then we're gonna go to Bridgeport, and then Cop Valley probably, and then we're getting ready for the open. History has ever won. Nobody in history's ever won Knoxville, the Tusky, Jackson, and Williams Grove in 1 year.
So why not?
So just as
So
well.
why not try, right?
That's right.
Well, I just got one more question then off of Troy's list, and then we'll get to the rapid fire so the guys aren't mad.
Now
at
there's
us.
one more you gotta ask before
One
that.
more I gotta
Yeah.
ask too? Oh, I don't even know what that one is.
I do, but
Okay. Troy told me that your number when you were racing around here was aces and eights.
My rookie year, 1 out of 16, yep.
Yep. So that was like
by the
the,
Deadwood Gulch and Deadwood.
yep. So it was the dead man's
Dead
hand or
man's
whatever.
hand.
Okay. See, and I did remember that car because I thought that was always a cool number. So you were sponsored by the casino or whatever
Yep,
out there.
That's
So
when Deadwood first started gambling,
okay.
and then the Deadwood Gulch sponsored me. What's really crazy about that, if you believe the story or not, but I was a kid, didn't know who he was, but the Nationals out here that year, some guys were buying the Deadwood Gulch from the guy that sponsored me, and they come down to the Nationals, Black Hill Speedway Nationals, or Dakota Territory Nationals back then, and introduced himself, and I didn't know until years later, but yeah, the guy at Cocos who it was.
Oh, seriously.
I met him at 16, didn't even know who it was.
Yeah, well, why would you know who that was when you were 16? We don't need to know that sort of shit when we're young.
yeah.
But he was one part of the group that bought the casino. So.
Oh, that's kind of cool too.
My one last quick question is: next year, you and Tim staying together?
Oh yeah, we're gonna do the same thing.
Perfect.
That's what we're looking forward to. All right, let's get into some rapid fire since they got to get going
Since the
here.
truck is running, we're burning fuel and it ain't cheap.
That's right. What's your favorite kind of ice cream?
Chocolate chip,
That's a good one. Cat or dog person?
both.
Both.
There you go. Do you have any hobbies other than racing?
Who has time for them, right?
Hey, I'm going golfing Friday for the 4th time this summer. That's my only hobby.
I don't
basically.
golf, I don't snow ski, I don't snowmobile, I don't hunt. I
Nope.
race.
And no fishing.
No fishing.
Jeez. Yeah. Workaholic.
Yeah. How about a favorite movie, Shane? Do you have one of them?
Old school.
Old school. Do you prefer snow or rain?
Whatever. It don't matter to me.
if you were going to be stranded on an island, what type of music or album would you have along to listen to?
Metallica Black Album.
There you go. I love it. Favorite place to go out to eat?
Texas Roadhouse.
Yep, can't go wrong there either. Them damn buns get you every time. How about a favorite holiday?
I love Christmas, just
Yeah.
to see the grandkids.
Yep.
Kids always, open gifts, and hopefully you got the right thing. That's more pressure than Knoxville.
But I wanted. Oh.
Yeah. I got a
You tell
4-year-old.
by their face, they don't even gotta say it. You're just like, hopefully they'll.
Yep. Oh, they're smiling. My 4-year-old granddaughter, she's already given us the list.
Oh.
Say, Papa, I want this.
Oh.
Damn commercials.
Trying to
come on.
remember what we got my son Carson that one time. If it was Bose headphone speakers,
Yeah.
and recorded it and turned it. I put it on Facebook, and somebody made it into a mime or reel or whatever the heck they're called, and it blew up. I mean,
Because he was a little bit excited.
yeah. So it got like over 1 million views by people. It was insane. How many speeding tickets do you have, Shane?
Last one I got, I think I was 14.
Oh, shit.
Oh, jeez.
I'm getting them early in life, though, but.
That's
Okay.
Knock on wood. Yep.
no.
So, anyways, we
Back
got.
then they suspended your license for 30 days.
Did you keep driving, though? Or mom and dad wouldn't let
Mom
you?
wouldn't let me.
Yep.
No.
Yeah, otherwise you would have. But anyways, in regards to the speed, what's the fastest you've ever driven or ridden with somebody going down the highway?
That guy that had a twin turbo Porsche, I think we were over 200.
Oh, we got another one in the 200 group.
There we go.
Actually, he let me drive, and I gave him the ride of his life.
So you were
Was
driving
it-
that 200.
Was it at least on the
He pulls into my neighborhood. I live in at that time I lived in the old hoodie neighborhood, the kind of rough neighborhood. Pulls up this Porsche, the neighbors are like, "What the? Like, you want to drive it? Sure."
Oh, hell yeah.
Wrong thing to say.
And he's a 6'8" football player. And here I am, so
How the hell does he get in a Porsche?
he was in the back seat almost. So then I took off out of the parking lot when we switched at Cabela's, and then I took him down the service road. Then I got to the next corner, pulled the emergency brakes, slid her sideways, and then made the corner. And he's like pressed face first against the window. And he, stop!
Oh, big 6'8"
He
football
always
player.
hasn't let me drive his Porsche since.
Kind of like in the movie when he gives
Yeah.
Shelby
Yeah.
gives Ford a ride in
Pretty
that
much.
car.
That's about what it was like.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. What's your favorite drink?
Diet Coke.
Oh, man after my own heart there.
Another Diet Coke guy. That's too bad. Okay, last one, then we'll let you go. If you had all the money in the world, you just won that Powerball that went out a while back. Is there a old car or a pickup or a boat or a motorhome? Or is there anything you wished you could own?
Doug Wolfgang's 1985 Trossel that he won Knoxville with. Weicker Livestock.
I wonder if that's
Is
what I
that
see
is that
out there.
around?
I don't know. I wish it was.
There you
I would
go.
imagine it is somewhere.
Yep, somebody's got it.
Yep.
That's what I would buy.
There you go.
Didn't Ron Fick just do
Yeah, he did. Well, I don't know if that's the one he actually won the Nationals with or not. But
They
Yeah.
just redid one.
Yeah, I know that too.
We haven't
So,
got up there yet either.
no,
We gotta
didn't
talk
do
to
that.
Blair.
No. Well, Shane, it's been an incredible year for you guys. We tend to hang around with Tim's a little bit. He's a great kid. He gets along with us really well, and we're happy that you guys are sticking together, and we get to see you all next year.
sounds great. No, I appreciate it.
All right.
And if you're lucky, we'll try and save you a cookie for next year too, but they'll be fresher next year.
Sounds good.
We'll bring
I
fresh
gotta
ones.
Sit-ups. Get my belly down a little bit.
All right. Good luck on the road trip.
Thanks, guys.
All right. We'll see you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Damn, they're waiting for him in the truck, bud, and we're still talking. Oh well.